Hey. I'm got it on video right now, just so that I can critique myself later on. Ellen's my camera person, so that when I walk back and forth like this, she can kind of keep it going there. So it's really weird. Just want to start off. I got this really weird phone call yesterday, and it was a guy, a sales guy. He wanted to sell me a casket. I said, that's the last thing I need. Where's the drum roll? Yeah, the drummer's on vacation tonight. Yeah, I need my rim shot. So, yes, my name is Dan Schaefer. I think I've met most people here already. And by the way, Sally, thank you for the quilt. It was good. And District 97 is the northern edge of Jefferson County. And it borders St. Louis County, so there's like this straight line that goes across the top of District 97. It goes as far east as the Merrimack River. It goes as far west as just west of High Ridge. And so it's really clean until you get to the south part of it, and it goes like a roller coaster, right? And that's what gerrymandering has done for us. District 97 used to go all the way down into Arnold, but they kind of squeezed it up like a balloon, and it squirted out like toward High Ridge. And so now it's a whole different demographic. But speaking of demographics, I kind of looked at the demographics of District 97 over the past few elections. And it was the election of 2018 where Mary Elizabeth Coleman ran against Mike Reeves, I think his name was. Revis, right, Mike Revis. And y'all know who Mary Elizabeth Coleman is? Oh, you do? Oh, wow. I'm surprised. Put in my notes here. But anyways, between the two of them, they got like 14,500 votes total. And what's really weird is that when Mary ran again in 2020 for the 97th district, she ran unopposed, still about 14,500 votes, almost the same number of votes. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on here, right? Is it just that people walk into the booth and say, well, there's only one name here. I'm just going to check this thing off anyways. So 97th district, as I explained, it kind of squirted out toward High Ridge. And now the last election was a guy named Dave Castile, who ran for the Republicans, ran unopposed, as did Mary Elizabeth Coleman before him. And I think he got about 9,500 votes. So I think the number of voters has probably shrunk a little bit. And if those 9,500 include both Democrats and Republicans, or just checking the box because it's the only box, I think my chances are pretty good out there. But we'll see. So moving right along, I had a couple of other things I wanted to talk about here, which I did make some notes, and I remembered to bring my notebook this time. My history as a podcaster, I started podcasting around 2018. I was a producer for a podcaster for the Alliance Party, which is a third party. And I probably conducted over 100 interviews. It was over a 2-year period. Got to talk to some really impressive people, Ralph Nader being the biggest name out there. But a lot of other people, book authors, activists, lawyers, prisoners, I mean, everybody across the whole spectrum gave me a good idea of what's really going on. Now, unfortunately, the Alliance Party just kind of went, hope nobody's taking notes. How do you spell? But so I kind of drifted around, did Democracy on the Move when I was doing that every week for about 2 years again. That's how I got to meet Denny, because I interviewed him, and I thought, this guy is the real deal. I'm going to stick with Denny here and do some work for him. I scaled down my Democracy on the Move from once a week to maybe once a month. But again, in the whole process there, I learned a lot about people. And even though I was interviewing people all over the country, I was sort of focusing on Missouri. And the more I focused on Missouri, the more upset I would get. Because my district, District 97, would run unopposed. A majority, not a majority, but a lot of seats ran unopposed. And like David was just saying, it's just really upsetting to me. So I called up the Democratic Party, and got in a conversation with Alex, and I said, hey, is anybody running for the 97th district? Because I keep checking out the Secretary of State website, and he says, no, you want to run? I'm like, that's it? Just like that? I can just run? He says, yeah, cool. But then he called me up later on and said, well, we got someone else to run. And I said, cool, I'm off the hook, right? Then I got a call from Robert Butler and said, well, that other person's dropping out, and we want you back in. So I had a long conversation with Ellen, my wife over here, camera person, and we decided to go for it. And so the rest is kind of history. I signed up like the second to last day that you could sign up, and I got advice from a lot of really good people, and the rest, as they say, is history. Now, when it comes to putting together my message, I noticed a lot of people really focus on the issues, the abortion or gun control or something like that. I decided to do something different. I'm going to focus on values, because you don't know how I'm going to come down on any particular issue unless you know what my values are. So when I put together the website, I said, let's base this on values. And so I started listing out the values that are important to me. And I'm not saying this because I'm at the Women Dems party, but women's rights is the top of my list. And the reason why is because it's indicative of what's happening in this whole nation today. Not just Missouri, but the whole nation. Women are losing their rights, but there's something even more important than that. We're all losing our rights. And, I got in this conversation with Abortion Action Missouri, AAM. They had me fill out a form, and they wanted to know if I wanted their endorsement. And I said, yeah, I'd love to have your endorsement. So after I filled out their form, I talked to them on the phone, and we had a little philosophical difference. Because they said, I want you to go out there with the message that you're pro-abortion. I said, I can't do that. I'm not pro-abortion. I think you all should know that. I'm not pro-abortion. I'm not anti-abortion. What I am for is get the hell Nick Schroer and Rick Bratton, get those guys out of the doctor's office. Because this is a difficult enough decision for a woman to make to begin with. There's no place for politicians to insert themselves into that conversation. Couple that with the fact that Republicans, they may scream about sanctity of life, but they don't really care about life. They only care about the woman because this unborn child, as they like to say, is within the woman's body. And they figure if they can control that unborn child, they can control the woman's body. And if they control the woman's body, they control women. What's happening here is we're putting together a patriarchy in this country. Patriarchy is a government or a system of rule by men with one man at the top, the alpha male at the top, the silverback, right? And and you can tell it's the alpha male because they will oftentimes take Donald Trump's head and put it on Sylvester Stallone's body. Say, what an awesome guy this is. Yeah, he can get, you look at him on the golf course, he's not really in very good shape. I'm really surprised that the people do this because they know it's impossible. They know that this guy is not in very good shape, but they make him the alpha male because they want so bad to have an alpha male. They want so bad to have this patriarchy. And patriarchy, when you couple that with extreme racism, which is what the Republican Party is going down that path, what do you get? Fascism. That's where I'm afraid we're heading. And so, and these are the conclusions I came up with, in doing all my podcasts. And I said, someone's got to step up and make a difference. Oh, how much? I got 1 minute? Good. That way I don't have to take any questions. I'll leave you with a quote from one of my favorite politicians, a Republican, by the way, a Republican about 100 years ago, a guy by the name of Robert La Follette. Anybody know who he was? Fighting Bob La Follette, right. He was initially a attorney general, I think, for one of the counties in Wisconsin. Then he became governor of Wisconsin, then became senator. He ran for president in 1924. Massive progressive person. This was during the progressive era. He fought for women's rights. He fought for the women's right to vote, the 19th Amendment. He fought for all the progressive things that we think of today. And I'm reading a book on him right now. I haven't finished it because I'm too busy campaigning. But the quote I want to leave you with is my favorite quote from him. He says, "Mere passive citizenship is not enough. Men must be aggressive for what is right in order to save government from those who are aggressive for what is wrong." I'm going to be aggressive. Again, I'm not going to be nasty. I'm not going to be calling people names and stuff, but I'm going to be aggressive. Charter schools, get them out of Missouri. I want to get rid of them. I want to get rid of the voucher system. We got to double down on our public school system. It's what's made us a great nation. So I'm going to be aggressive for all these things. Great. Thank you very much. Oh, yes.
When is your first kickoff and week retreat you're going to have?
Oh, thank you for mentioning that. That's June 1st at Peg's restaurant on the Boulevard, which is in High Ridge. I do have some cards, some index cards with the printout of that. And also on the back shelf there, have some refrigerator magnets if you guys want to have that. That's kind of cool. They just came in the mail today. The box weighed a ton. There's like 250 of them in there. So, but that's June 1st, Saturday from 12 noon till 2 o'clock at Peg's on the Boulevard in High Ridge. Oh, yes, free pizza and free soft drinks. That would get people going. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. I'm out of time, so that's, I'm out of here. Thank you.